We've just started our tour of HMRC offices that have either already been closed or that are set for closure under the government's closure programme. What we're finding is that in areas where those offices have closed or are closing, we're losing lots and lots of staff who had a huge amount of expertise about tax collection and also around customs as well. We're seeing people who had caring responsibilities not able to move to work in some of those big mega centres, and actually we're seeing those new centres being created in quite expensive places, so that overall the system of closure isn't saving money. Government should adopt a different tack on this. It should stop the closure programme, and certainly from the people we've been talking to here in Swindon, they think that the closure shouldn't have gone ahead either. I'm here outside Worcester County Hall offices. This is where some staff from HMRC's office in Worcester have been transferred. Many of them are no longer working for HMRC in Worcester, and in fact all the people here are going to be moved out soon as well. I have to say we're finding a very similar picture here to what occurred in Swindon. People who used to have skilled jobs, keeping them in the local community, keeping that expertise there, now being moved out of towns into these big regional centres, but actually a lot of the time not saving any money because so much expertise is being lost. And again, I would call on the government to say we need an end to this contract and an end to the closure of these local offices. So we're here in Telford in front of one of the HMRC offices, which is going to be closed in future years, but we've already seen a lot of people working here pulled out, and it's been a real shame, I think, because there's been huge expertise here, particularly in IT, underlying stopping tax avoidance and evasion and fraud, but lots of other activities that HMRC carries out as well. So I'm here at the moment with Katrina, who's the local Labour candidate. I know that she's been working a lot on trying to make sure that we keep the kind of skilled jobs actually that were available here, and I hope maybe we might be able to retain here in Telford. It's so important because people can't just commute for hours and hours every day if they've got childcare responsibilities. It's not something that they can do. I know this is something that's of a lot of concern to you.
Absolutely. Any loss of job here is obviously a loss to our economy, and it's a loss to the skills that we keep and retain here. I don't want people to have to leave Telford in order to get skilled jobs. In fact, I'm really proud of our borough council, our Labour Borough Council, that have done a huge amount to get investment here. But it's jobs like these we need to keep, because the more of them we have, the more we're likely to attract if we have a skills base of people who are likely to do the work. So for me, it will be a devastating loss to Telford. Absolutely.
I'm here in Wrexham this morning next to one of the offices that's been part of this closure programme. And really Labour's saying that we need to renegotiate the contract that's leading to the closure of so many local offices just like this one. I've been talking to people who've seen the impact of this on the local community, particularly the local MP, Ian, who's been working on this for a very, very long time. And he said that actually we really need these jobs to stay in towns like Wrexham. They're so important. They're important for keeping expertise as well in HMRC. They're very, very crucial for the quality of tax collection services, and more needed than ever if we end up with a new customs regime from the government. So it's good to be talking to people here in Wrexham, but we need to see that change. We need to see an end to this closure programme. So I'm here outside Shipley's HMRC offices, and we're seeing exactly the same thing happening here as in many other parts of the country. There's some very skilled staff who are working here, but they're going to be required to leave their jobs here and move to a regional centre in Leeds. And what we're finding is that lots and lots of people just can't make that move. They can't commute for very long periods every day. Less than half of people have said that they would be able to make that commute. And HMRC is going to lose very valuable staff by proceeding with this closure programme in places like Shipley. I'm stood here in front of the HMRC offices in Bradford, where we're seeing a very similar story to what's happening across the country. There are lots of people with expertise in these offices who are now going to be expected to move out to go and work in Leeds in the future, but actually Leeds has already got a strong labour market. It's going to be difficult for people who have to leave jobs here to find other jobs in the local economy. And of course people who worked here were spending their money locally, they were spending their money in Bradford. I know this is something that Susan Hinchcliffe, as the leader of the council, Council has been raising, is very concerned about, and also the two Labour MPs as well, Imran and Naz. They're really worried about the impact of these HMRC offices closing in Bradford. So I'm here from Labour's Shadow Treasury team because we've been looking into the Building Our Future programme, so-called the Big Change programme that's going on with HMRC offices, and we're seeing what's happening to a lot of facilities like the one here in Portsmouth. Obviously it's scheduled for closure, and I'm really concerned that many of these offices that are closing are leaving people without employment, obviously, but it's having a big impact on local economies because the staff aren't spending their money in the local economy. But it's also costing HMRC a lot of expertise, because there'll be people in this building who'll have worked for HMRC for a very long time, who are very, very skilled at what they do, and in the long run this is not saving money closing these offices.
I'm Simon Letts, I'm Labour's candidate in Southampton, and with me today is Anneliese Dodds, part of Labour's Treasury team in Parliament. And we're here to talk about the impact of the changes to the Inland Revenue and the Customs team here in Southampton. Anneliese, would you like to introduce the issue?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Simon. So we're seeing here in Southampton exactly what we're seeing right across the country, where tax offices are being closed or they're threatened with closure. And in many cases, people are being expected to travel a very long way to work in regional centres. Now, actually, this isn't saving the HMRC any money, because people don't want to, or they can't, in many cases, travel for very long distances. People have got a lot of expertise in tax collection, and yet they're being lost to HMRC. And funnily enough, in those big regional centres, there isn't the workforce there to actually do the work that's needed. So this contract isn't sensible. Labour's seeing it needs to be renegotiated. And I know that you're saying that jobs like these, Simon, they need to be kept in places like Southampton.
That's exactly right. I mean, the Inland Revenue's always had a presence in this city, and it's always created good jobs for local people, and they've been based here and they've got local knowledge, and we need to keep them in the area, and we need to keep those jobs here. And shutting this building behind us and moving those jobs to Croydon will basically be detrimental to Southampton.